Knowles is allegedly enraged after her former husband Richard Lawson is said to have crossed an unforgivable boundary and revealed deeply personal information about Sir Carter, and calling the timing suspicious doesn't even begin to describe it. The Super Bowl wraps up, fans immediately start asking why Sir is missing yet again, and out of nowhere Richard is reportedly airing out explosive family secrets that have Tina seeing red. Now sources claim Tina is rushing behind the scenes to contain the damage, with whispers of a possible gag order floating around, because this didn't come off as random. It came off as deliberate. And what's amplifying the noise even more is the eerie silence from Beyoncé and Jay-Z. No comments, no pushback, no clarification at all. So was this a scorned ex seeking revenge, or did he unintentionally reveal something that was meant to stay locked inside the family forever? Either way, this divorce just flipped from low-key to explosive, and the internet is fully tuned in. Alright, so it's starting to look like our instincts were right because Celestine snorts. Tina clearly knew that her split from Richard Lawson wasn't as peaceful as they tried to sell it, because him allegedly outing Sir's condition like this is shocking. And the timing only deepens the suspicion, because it really feels like Richard Lawson waited patiently for the exact moment when this information would cause maximum shockwaves. Think about it. The Super Bowl literally just went down. And just like clockwork, Jay-Z showed up with Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Beyoncé. But once again, Sir was completely absent, and this has become a familiar pattern over the years, because it's always Jay-Z, Blue, Rumi, and Beyoncé at the Super Bowl while Sir is nowhere in sight. This time, though, fans weren't brushing it off. The comments started flooding in, saying things like, "Another music day, and we still ain't seen the boy. What's really going on? They never show that son of hers. HM. Has anyone actually ever seen the boy, the other twin? And why is Sir always missing?" But let's be clear, this isn't the first time people have raised eyebrows over the fact that Sir hasn't been publicly seen in years. The chatter got louder during the Cowboy Carter tour when Rumi and Blue were front and center on stage, while Sir wasn't even spotted at the shows, and that left people feeling uneasy. And with Sir missing yet another Super Bowl, the speculation exploded again, and Richard Lawson allegedly didn't hesitate to pour gasoline on the fire. According to a source, Richard supposedly said during a recent private conversation that Sir Carter, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z's youngest son is severely autistic. And this revelation hits harder because online whispers about this have existed for a long time. But Richard reportedly didn't present it as gossip. He spoke as if it were established truth and then kept going. Allegedly, he claimed Sir isn't only severely autistic, but that he also has ADHD, which supposedly makes being in public extremely overwhelming for him. Music, large crowds are basically a no-go. Sources say he functions best in highly controlled environments, which would explain why places, music, like massive concerts or events like the Super Bowl are completely off limits for him. Now, like I mentioned, fans had already suspected the autism, but adding an ADHD diagnosis suddenly makes everything feel much more concrete. And honestly, it sheds light on why Beyoncé and Jay-Z are especially guarded when it comes to him compared to their daughters. I mean, if the internet was cruel to Blue when she was just a baby, imagine the kind of things they'd say about Sir. Still, to be fair, the Carters are fiercely protective of all their children. But when it comes to Sir, they take that protection to another level. Now let's be honest for just a second. Ever since the twins were born, there's been a clear imbalance in how often we see Rumi versus Sir. Rumi has slowly been introduced to the public, appearing in Beyoncé's visuals, showing up in carefully curated Instagram posts, and even being photographed on family vacations. Somebody wants to join and cut. Meanwhile, Sir has remained almost completely invisible. No official photos since infancy. No cameos, no appearances, nothing but silence. But with Richard's alleged confirmation, that absence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. And to add another layer, there's now speculation that Beyoncé may have subtly alluded to Sir's autism during an interview when she was talking about her daughters. She once said, "It matters to me that they grow up seeing themselves as leaders, as shot callers, believing they can music, author their own destiny, speak freely, and live without limits. They don't need to fit a mold or squeeze into anyone's box." But when she shifted to talking about her son, Sir, the tone changed completely, and she spoke about wanting him to be fearless in a world that can be merciless. She said, "I want to teach my son not to be shaped by what the internet tells him he should be or how he should love. I want to build better representation for him so he's allowed to unlock his full potential as a man, and to show him that the real magic he carries is the power to validate his own existence." What's really pouring gasoline on this fire, though, is just how quiet the Carters have been. No response, no rejection, no pushback whatsoever. Complete silence from Beyoncé and Jay-Z's camp. And yes, They've always guarded their children closely, but this level of silence has people reading between the lines more than ever. I mean, remember how enraged they were when Kanye West made those foul comments about the twins? They were reportedly ready to drag him to court, yet now nothing. It doesn't add up, especially since this allegedly came from Richard Lawson, someone who was once deeply embedded in the family circle. And when you factor in his split from Tina, the timing starts to feel a little too convenient. People are asking whether this was a careless mistake or a calculated jab at Tina, using her grandkids as collateral. And here's what's really leaving fans shook. Tina may have seen this coming, because during their divorce, she reportedly made Richard sign an NDA that strictly barred him from discussing music, their children, or grandchildren. Reports say the former couple also agreed to a non-disparagement clause, confirming their intention to resolve everything peacefully by mutually approving any public statements about their divorce and agreeing not to speak negatively about their children, grandchildren, or spouses. So it looks like Tina already suspected Richard might pull something like this. And unfortunately, those instincts appear to have been spot on. And according to Street Chatter, Richard is allegedly sitting on plenty of tea about Tina and the Carters. They were married for 9 years. While that might not sound like forever, they'd actually known each other much longer. They first crossed paths when Tina was pregnant with Beyoncé. Sparks reportedly flew back then, but nothing materialized at the time. She later divorced Matthew Knowles. Word on the street is that Tina may have been involved with Richard before her marriage to Matthew officially ended. But let's be honest, Matthew was already out here moving reckless with his own infidelity, so if Tina had something brewing, people weren't exactly shocked. Still, according to Beyoncé's former vocal coach, David Brewer, Tina and Richard allegedly had something going on. David wrote, "I quickly realized that although unhappily married, Celestine wasn't suffering alone. One afternoon, when I went to the main house to grab my keyboard, I unexpectedly walked in on Celestine kissing a man. I instantly recognized him. Richard Lawson, a well-known actor. A startled Celestine had no choice but to introduce us. Talk about awkward," he wrote. She was supposed to be at her salon. I shook Richard's hand, told him how much I admired his work, and he nodded, saying, "It's a pleasure." After he left, Celestine turned to me and said, "Richard is my cousin." He's all that stuff. Long story short, they eventually married after Tina's divorce from Matthew, but it didn't take long before cracks started forming. Fans became convinced their relationship was tense, especially since Tina would sometimes come off dismissive toward Richard, like when she said this,
"Envisioned the type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women."
And when fans called her out for how strange that comment sounded, she didn't retreat. She doubled down, writing, "I'm intentional about not mistaking excellence for perfection. Excellence is something I can pursue. Perfection belongs to God." She even added a caption saying, "I read this quote this morning and I fully agree with Michael J. Fox. Anyone who believes they are someone else can be perfect is living an illusion. Only God holds that title." So Chad, does it look like Richard is settling scores with Tina by dragging her grandkids into the spotlight? Some believe it feels like a subtle strike, especially considering he witnessed firsthand what Beyoncé endured during her fertility battles and the terrifying complications when she nearly lost the twins. In her Vogue interview, she revealed, "I weighed 218 pounds the day I delivered Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and had been on bed rest for over a month. My life and my baby's lives were at risk, so I underwent an emergency C-section. We remained in the ICU for weeks. I was just trying to survive and didn't fully process it until months later. After the surgery, my body felt unfamiliar. It was major surgery. Some organs are temporarily shifted and in rare situations even removed briefly music during childbirth." She added that not everyone understands she needed time to truly heal and recover. And medical studies show there can be a higher likelihood of autism when a mother experiences preeclampsia, which has people connecting dots. So yes, fans are saying if Richard really revealed something that personal, it would come off incredibly petty. Insiders claim Tina is furious and believes he crossed a line that should never have been approached. Now she's reportedly pushing for a gag order that would permanently silence him about her family, with the threat of jail hanging over his head. But here's where it turns dark. If Richard truly spoke those words publicly, there's no undoing it. That wouldn't just be gossip. It would be exposing something the family has fiercely guarded for years. And if whispers about a gag order are accurate, that alone signals how serious this battle is behind closed doors. The questions are getting louder. What else does Richard know? What secrets were locked inside that NDA? And how music, far will this spiral before someone finally breaks their silence? One thing is undeniable. This saga is far from finished. And the silence right now doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like the stillness before an explosion.